So I watch wrestling still. When I go watch AEW, I try to catch SmackDown.
Oh my God, you're a better man than me if you can watch a. No, wait a minute. We love Tony. I forgot about
we
that.
love AEW.
AEW, 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 AEW. Sometimes,
three times.
Yeah, okay, I know, but that was a rib.
But every time I watch this stuff, I always think in my head, like, what must Jimmy, what must Rip, what must Danny Davis think when they watch it? How overly choreographed it is now, and it's really all about the moves now.
Well, I'll let Rip on the choreograph here in a second, but to answer your kind of question, because Rip went with his class, those guys, though, the only credit I will give them, I shouldn't say the only credit, I couldn't imagine being able to remember all of those spots for an entire match. I don't know how they do it. To call a match on the fly than to remember 35 spots in a row.
I second that. I agree with that. I thought the same thing. As far as there's no way I can memorize all that. No way.
So could they do it? I mean, I don't know. Maybe if they planned, not on the fly, probably, unless because it's just
because listen. The thing is, you got to remember, calling a match on the fly is you going off of the crowd, right? So a lot of it, the crowd biting on this, or are they not? If they're not, you got to flip flop and switch shit and get them back, right? So with what they're doing today. They're just hoping that the crowd's going to pop for those high spot moves that they all do. And of course the crowd's going to pop because they're high spots, but they're not, it's not organic. They're not organically listening to the audience.
And they're not getting new people either. I mean, they're not.
It's weird. It's hard to explain.
Yeah. Their ratings, you got to remember first they had one show, then they went to 2 shows. So
that's true.
But they're about year number 3.
I think so.
Yeah.
And they're basically drawing the same thing they draw. They did draw. Yeah. I think they got a shot in the arm when they got Punk, but now they're back. I think they're back to the SOS, but you know.
So what do you think about the Spot Fest, Rip? Choreographed moves.
Well, that ain't for me, and that ain't for a guy that drew money, and that ain't the way you work. But but hardly any people really know that anymore.
No.
And these guys were brought up of here's my match, here's my promo.
Yep.
Where we were brought up just fucking working.
Yep.
Never in my life did I get in a ring and choreograph a match and go over it. I used to go down to WCW and I'd see guys in the ring. I said, what the fuck are they doing? Oh, they're going through their match. Going through their match? God damn.
Because how do you know what you're going over is going to work? How do you know it's going to work?
They don't. And that's when what happens then, they fart at it. They fart at it. So now they go even faster, faster, faster. Well, they need to go slower, slower, slower and get a hold and work out of it. But they don't know that. And nobody in AEW, the agents are not going to say nothing. They just want to get that free check from Tony. I think Blueprint, I think that's what you need to call Tony up. Say, hey, I'm a goddamn monster right here. I'm an ex-WWE star, so you should be able to pay me like everybody else. You got so much goddamn money. You got that shitty football team, but not this year.
No, they might make the playoffs.
They're on fire, and they had the worst record in the NFL the last how many since he took
35
over,
years.
He took over ownership or something like that.
Since they created the team. No, they've been in there a couple times.